Once I went to a restaurant and I wanted to have something to drink and eat. So this waitress came along and she asked me a question. Hi, can I get you some soda to have? I'm like, soda? No, I just want to have a glass of Coke, please. That's the first time I heard this sound in my mind. Dung, 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 dung. I knew something was wrong. The waitress gave me a very amused look and she said, okay, glass of Coke. Do you want a high tea? High tea? No, I just want some normal sandwich to have. I don't want tea. I just want some Coke and sandwich, ma'am, please. By then, the waitress looked very upset and in my mind, I had this music. I knew probably I'm not aware of the vocabulary she is using, right? And I'm sure a lot of you come across this situation where you are too embarrassed to ask or you say something which you're not sure of, especially in a restaurant. It gives you very, it puts you in a bad light, right? I'm sure you had. My name is Imelda and today I will help you escape all of those embarrassing moments by learning or introducing you some very unusual snack time vocabulary. Now, why are they unusual? Because certain vocabularies are actually not practiced quite popularly. They may be practiced only in certain countries, but now they are getting popular slowly and steadily. So if you are traveling to any country where such vocabulary is used, you will not feel very embarrassed, or at least as embarrassed as I felt at that time. So let's get started. The first one I have is nibble on. What is nibble on? Have you ever seen a cow munching? Nyang, nyang, nyang. Yes, that's actually what nibble on means. Nibble on means to munch. Okay. What will you munch? You'll munch a canopy, not say sandwich, but the small tarts, canopy, or anything which is small and you just want to, pass your time. You're not really hungry. You just want to eat something. You just want your jaws moving. So you munch like a cow. Yes, you nibble on a canopy. The next, as I said, the high tea. The next one I have is high tea. When she said high tea, I was wondering what kind of tea is she offering? I asked for a soda. No, high tea actually is a word from Ireland. It's used as early dinner from 7 to 9, and it's a small and early dinner. That was the original word, that was the original meaning, but now high tea means refreshment. It's refreshment. So anytime they're talking about snacks or something small that you want to munch, they sometimes use the word high tea. In fact, if you happen to go to Singapore, you will have restaurants claiming they have high tea menu for you. Okay, so next time if you come across the word high tea, they just mean some refreshment, usually for the dinner time. Okay, the next I have for you is savoury. Now, savoury is a common, or for that matter, another term for snack. However, savoury initially meant both something that is not sweet as well as sweet, like cakes, pastries, or sandwiches. But nowadays, savoury is meant, or probably it's used only for things that are not sweet. So maybe your sandwiches, or your, or puffs. The puffed sandwich, yes, that they call as savoury. Nowadays, nobody uses savoury for something sweet. They use it for something which is salty, which you can have it with tea or coffee, right? So now that you have something salty, obviously you want to have something sweet, right? Good. For those, I have confections. Confections are baked products that are very rich in, guess the word, sugar and carbohydrates. So for those who are watching their waistline, you may not want to have a confection. Oh, who makes those confections? Of course, the bakers. So confection is rich in sugar and carbohydrates. Obviously, what kind of confections you're talking about? I'm going to talk about tarts. Now, tarts are those small pieces. They're like this small. They're very colorful. They have a very strong, firm base. Yeah, but it's damn tiny. So the base is very firm. However, the top portion is very soft and it's open. You may have a fruit tart. Some tarts are actually big, but usually tarts come only in this size. Yeah. Chinese like tarts. During the Chinese festival, you will see people giving them egg tarts or lemon tarts, right? That's tarts, not really common in, how shall I say, Europe, but very common in America. My favorite cakes. Have you ever heard of chocolate cakes or pineapple cake? Yes, of course you know. They are quite smooth and nice. So cakes is something very common. However, sometimes even a sandwich is called cake. Very rare, but sometimes people call puffed sandwich also a cake. So you may want to be aware what actually the cake means. You have cheesecake. Oh, I love cheesecake. If you go to America, please go to Cheesecake Factory. That's one of my favorite places. Then we have pastries. Pastries and cakes are pretty much similar. Again, pastries, I call them a short form of cakes, but pastries can be, puffs are called pastries as well. You know, they can be savory as well. So anytime you order cakes or pastries, and if you're not sure, especially if you are in a foreign country, you may want to ask for a sweet cake or a sweet pastry and not a savory one. My favorite one more is macaroons. Macaroons are like those tiny buttons. Okay, they're really small, very colorful. The outer crust is like a biscuit, but inside is very soft. And they actually look something like this. Okay, it looks like a burger though. So you see this black portion, the thick black line that I'm creating, that will be a soft. You will be able to see that filling, but the top and the bottom will be as hard as a very soft biscuit. Yeah, they're not really hard, they're very soft biscuit. Goes very well with coffee and tea. Now that I've done the cakes and pastries, I have one word which a lot of people get confused. Water. What's water? I mean, how difficult can it be? But trust me, it's difficult. In a restaurant, I asked for water. Listen, the first thing the waitress asked me was, still or gas? And trust me, this is what my reaction was. No, I just want a tap water. Excuse me? Oh, no, I just want a simple water. What? Ma'am, do you want something with bubbles inside, or do you just want a plain glass of water? I said, oh yeah, a plain glass of water, which is a still water. So next time if you see a glass of water with bubbles in it, you may want to say, that's a glass of water with gas. Or can I have a glass of water with gas, please? Yes. Soda is considered not the Coke soda, but the actual soda is considered a gas water or aerated water, if I may call that. So water is not as simple as you thought. Moving on to the next one, I have coffee. Oh, I know, everybody loves coffee. What is so special about coffee? Coffee has many versions. We have cappuccino, we have latte, we have mocha. But today I will be teaching you two very important type of coffees. What are they? Cafe Royale and Macchiato. Cafe Royale is a teaspoon of brandy with a cup of coffee. Remember, it's a teaspoon of brandy to a coffee and not a teaspoon of coffee to a brandy, okay? So brandy with coffee makes Cafe Royale. What is Macchiato? Have you ever heard the word espresso? Have you heard the word espresso? Yes, you have. But if you have espresso with a skim milk or milk with low fat, you call it macchiato. Yes, it's macchiato. I think the right pronunciation is not toe, but to. So it's macchiato. Espresso with low fat milk. Right? For those coffee lovers, I gave you 2 good options, but I have people who love tea. So what kind of tea do you have? You have English, herbal, and decaffeinated. A lot of people don't know English. It's a regular tea, black. Some people call English tea as, where shall I write it? I write it here. No, it's liquor tea, and some people call it liquor tea. Why? Because it looks like a brandy or alcohol. So some people call English tea as liquor tea. Otherwise, people call liquor tea white, which means English tea with milk. Now that we've talked about liquor tea, you may want to talk about herbal tea. Where do you classify your green tea or your peppermint tea? You classify them under herbal tea. This is what the restaurants will write if they want to write on the paper. GT or PPT. Yes, trust me, it's not a PowerPoint. PPT is considered as peppermint tea. So next time you want to talk about peppermint tea, you'll see people just writing PPT. Okay, green tea or peppermint tea. Now, one thing to note is green tea and peppermint tea usually have a lot of caffeine in them. They keep you awake, and some people do not like so much caffeine to their blood level. So what they do is they request for a decaffeinated tea. Decaffeinated tea means, simple words, no So next time, if you are going for a fine dining restaurant, you may want to say, may I have a glass of decaffeinated tea, please? Ah, so classy, right? So these are few unusual snack time vocabulary I had a tough time learning because I never used to have coffee. I still don't have coffee, tea, or water with gas or soda. I keep it very simple. I just go have a glass of juice or a glass of milk. I know I'm a good girl. Yes. So next time if you go to a restaurant and you're not sure what the word would mean, you may want to ask the waitress, or you can immediately go on to YouTube, or for that matter, check out my lesson and look out for these phrases. You may find a word or two. I will be back with a new lesson. I really hope you enjoyed this one though. I will be back with a new lesson. Until then, stay healthy, have fun, and watch on your confections. See you. Bye-bye.